Hi, I'm Shelley and thank you for tuning in to this tutorial where I'm going to be showing you how to make a beautiful pastel coloured tank top. I'm using double knitting cotton. You can use bamboo, or you can use linen, or a mix, and a 3.5mm hook for the rib along the bottom. So we're going to start by chaining chaining 13 stitches. And then you're going to just go into the second chain from the hook and work a double crochet, and then into each chain to the end of the row. For the next row, you're going to chain one and then work a double crochet into the back loop only of each stitch. This is how we create the lovely rib effect that looks like a knitted stitch rather than a crochet stitch. So just keep working into the back loop and finish with the row with a double crochet into the chain one, and then start the next row the same as the last. This is what we're going to be doing in every row now. So into the back loop only with the first stitch, and then into each stitch as you go. And we're going to do a total of 73 rows of rib, and then we're going to start on the front. So the next thing we're going to do is chain one and then work a double crochet into the first stitch along the side, and then work what you're going to do is work a double crochet into the top of the ridge and then the top of the bit in between the ridge. So that's the top of the ridge, and this is the in between the ridge. Top of the ridge and in between. And just continue doing that until you get to the end of the row. So for the next row, we're going to chain one and double crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to chain three, miss 3 stitches, and double crochet into the next stitch, and again chain 3 and double crochet into the next stitch, chain 3. This is literally it. We're just chaining 3, missing 3, and double crocheting into the next stitch, and you just need to repeat that until you get to the end of the row, and end the row with chain 3 and double crochet into the last stitch. And for the next row, we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to treble 4 into each 3 chain space. And 4 into the next 3 chain space, and just continue trebling 4 into each 3 chain space until you get to the end of the row, and just end the row with a treble into the 1 chain space, turn, and then we're going to join in the pink, and we're going to chain 1 and double crochet into the next stitch, and just double crochet into each stitch until you get to the end of the row, and end with a double crochet into the top of the turning chain from the previous row. So for the next row, we'll join in the main colour again, and chain 1 and double crochet into the first stitch, and then chain 3, miss 3 and double crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, miss 3 and double crochet into the next stitch. Just continue that sequence until you get to the end of the row. And as you can see, this is the same as the first row of the actual pattern. So follow this row and the next row, join in the next colour. So basically the 3 rows that we've just done, and we're starting that again with the first row, and then we'll do the second row, and then we'll join in another colour, and then continue with that sequence, and however many colours you want to join in. I'm using 3. You can use 1 or 2 or none at all. Just do a straight row of double crochet in the same colour and it will still look pretty. And then just continue with the pattern until from the rib to the top measures around 26 centimetres or just over 10 inches. So now we're going to start decreasing, and we're going to start with a slip stitch into the first 6 stitches. And then just double crochet until you get into each stitch until you get to the last 7 stitches, and then you're going to turn and join in the main colour again. So we're going to leave the last 7 stitches unworked. So as you can see, we've left 7 stitches unworked and rejoined the main colour. So we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to double crochet 2 together, and then we're going to look at the stitches below. So we've gone into the place where we would have done a double crochet, so now we're going to chain 3 and then go into the next stitch, miss 3, go into the next stitch. But by now you can see where you need to work in the double crochets in between the 2 lots of trebles from the row below. So just keep working to the last 3 stitches And we're at the last 4 stitches, but because there's one left over, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to miss 2 stitches, oh sorry, chain 2, miss 2 stitches, and then double crochet 2 together and turn. And for the next row, chain 3, and then treble crochet 2 together, and then treble crochet 2, and carry on as normal for the rest of the row until you get to the end, and then treble crochet 2 and treble crochet 2 together, and treble crochet into the chain 1. And that's what you're going to keep doing, decreasing at each end of each row until you've got 52 stitches left across here. So just continue working straight until the armholes measure around 6 inches, so from there to the top, and then fasten off. That's going to be the back finished. And then for the front, you're going to work exactly the same as the back up until 8 rows less have been worked from the top of the back, and then we'll stop to shape the neck. So now we're going to start shaping the neck. I've got the right side facing, and we're going to pattern 11, so chain 1, double crochet into the first stitch, so that's 1, chain 3, and double crochet into the 4th stitch, so that's 5, chain 3, miss 3 and double crochet into the next stitch, so that's 9, and then chain 2, and then we're going to miss 2 stitches and double crochet 2 together and turn. Now we're just going to decrease on the neck edge for the next 4 rows, and start by chain 3, treble 2 together into the space, and then treble 4 into the next space, and again into the next space as per the normal row, and finish with a treble into the last stitch. That didn't go well. Let's try that again. I'm going to blame that it's thundering. I'm going to claim to be distracted by the thunder. So turn, and that's when you'll join in the new colour, and decrease at the neck edge of that row and at the neck edge of the next row, and then fasten off Obviously, if it doesn't measure up to the back, then just work straight until it does, and then go across the other side and start from with the wrong side facing, and just do exactly the same. So now all we need to do is sew the shoulder seams together on the wrong side and weave in all the ends, and then we'll start on the arm borders and the neck border. Now you can just pick up and crochet around and do one row of trebles followed by 2 rows of front post and back post treble to create rib. But the way I prefer to do it is to do it the same way we did the border for the bottom, and then sew it on because I think it looks neater. So we're just going to start with the same way we did the border for the bottom, but this time we're going to just chain 9. And then work a double crochet into the second chain, and then each chain to the end, and then you're going to continue to do double crochet into the back post on all of the subsequent rows. And what I like to do is on the wrong side, and then crochet the rib as far as you can, and then sew it in place before you finish, giving it a slight stretch as you sew it in place. And then if you're doing it sewing as you go, then you'll know exactly when to finish, and do exactly the same for both sleeves. Okay, so that's the ribbing for the armholes done, and the next thing we need to do is exactly the same. We're going to start from the centre of the back of the neck, and then sew as we go around until we get back again, remembering to keep it slightly stretched as you go, and then sew the 2 pieces together at the back.